the Pirates players about maybe 2 hours ago in the clubhouse. He closed the door and made the announcement. I can't imagine what it must have been like for guys like A.J. Burnett and Garrett Cole.
Yeah, I had two different feelings, I think, completely. I think I can empathize more with A.J. that, I can't imagine his thoughts, really, what you just said about when he was told. Most guys don't know when it's going to be their last year. A.J. is in a rare position to where he could call his own shot and say, okay, this is it. And then his dream after that would be to put together a great last season. Look at the numbers. 2.05 ERA, halfway mark of the season, well over 100 innings. I mean, just fantastic year to this point, and to make his first ever All-Star game. It just, probably not too many things could give him that little thrill, up his spine. But I'm sure Batman felt that a couple hours ago when he found out. And Cole also making his first.
But you say two different feelings.
Yeah, entirely different situation for those two guys. And AJ at some point probably thought to himself, I'm never going to make one. Well, he made this one.
And wait till the fans. I don't know when they're going to announce it to the fans here when they are told. I mean, here's A.J. Burnett warming up. I think it'd be cool.
Well, we told the fans down underneath.
We yelled down to them who the All-Stars were going to be. But at some point, you'd think they'd let the fans know here, and that'll be neat as we take a look at the starting lineups for the San Diego Padres. Derek Norris will lead things off, and it's Yangervis Solarte and Matt Kemp. Justin Upton is an All-Star once again. Yonder Alonso will play first base. Jed Jerko is the second baseman. Then Will Venable, Alexi Amarista, and James Shields. Pat Murphy, the manager of the San Diego Padres, a few weeks ago replaced Bud Black. And he is Pedro Alvarez's father-in-law. Special moment, no doubt, for Pat Murphy and Pedro Alvarez as we get ready to play ball here. Derek Norris. Underway here.
But that first pitch, a fastball way inside to a right-hand hitter.
Don't see that too often.
Not from AJ anymore. That's what you see all the time, all night long. Two-seam fastball outside corner.
Popped up. Pedro Alvarez. One up and one down. Check out the defense. Five-time All-Star Andrew McCutchen anchors that outfield. Brought to you by Honda. Sean Rodriguez in left, Gregory Polanco in right, Jung Ho Gung, Jordy Mercer on the left side, Neil Walker, Pedro Alvarez on the right side, and Francisco Cervelli catches A.J. Burnett. Here is Solarte, the left-handed hitter. Will bat left-handed, a switch hitter. Strike is called. Mentioned that Josh Harrison is out on the disabled list. I mistakenly said it was the right hand. It's his left hand. And hopefully it won't be too long before we see his return. He's had a great attitude about it. Jung Ho Gung will be the starting third baseman most every night. Of course, Sean Rodriguez will play over there as well when Gung needs a night off. That's the depth that they talked about. The Pirates have been pretty fortunate. Really haven't had any major injuries. Now all of a sudden they've got not only Harrison but maybe Marte, and Travis Ishikawa returns to the Pirates. He was with the club out of spring training last year. Eventually picked up again by the San Francisco Giants, had a great postseason run. And Walker retires Solarte, 2 up and 2 down. Rivers Casino tips to win.
Well, the tips tonight, the stay focused is, well, you got these injuries that you were just talking about, and how is the team going to react to their first really hit, basically on the roster this year? Well, hopefully they don't try to do too much. Stay focused, go about their jobs. That's the main thing. And then there's a couple spots in the lineup where AJ needs to be careful tonight. Justin Upton, one of them, and Will Venable, the other one. Both those guys have excellent numbers against AJ and a lot of at bats. Wants to work around those two spots in the lineup, cleanup spot. And what's Venable hit, 7th?
He's hitting 7th tonight. You know, a guy that's not in there is Melvin Upton, who's a .500 career hitter against AJ Burnett. 8 out of 16 with 2 homers. So a break of sorts. His brother Justin is on deck. One ball, one strike. And inside. Justin Upton, as Bob said, 8 for 16, .500 batting average, 3 homers for Melvin Upton. Not nearly as good. 3-1 to count on Matt Kemp. Clint Barmas returns. Not in the starting lineup tonight. Having a solid year. There's Melvin Upton, former BJ Upton. And now 3-2 on Matt Kemp. So his numbers not nearly as good as his brother's. Does have 3 career home runs against AJ Burnett. But these Padres have been a disappointment. That's what cost Bud Black his job. They made a bunch of changes over the winter, including getting Matt Kemp.
Kemp just can't quite recapture the player that he was a few years ago.
Strike 3 call.
There's that pitch right on the outside corner. 2-seam fastball.
The San Diego Padres, who have caused the Pirates all kinds of problems over the years here. The Toyota starting lineup has Gregory Polanco leading off. Neil Walker hits second, then Andrew McCutchen. Jung Ho Kang cleans up. Francisco Cervelli will follow, then Pedro Alvarez, Jordy Mercer, Sean Rodriguez, and A.J. Burnett.
I look at the numbers this year from James Shields. Start off fairly hot with the wins. The first 7 decisions as a Padre were W's. Having a solid year. ERA just a little bit over 4 and eating up those innings. On pace to pitch well over 200.
Gregory Polanco stepping in 0 for his last 12 at bats. Lefties do much better against James Shields this season. They're hitting .305 against him. So we'll look for Polanco, Walker, and Alvarez. Righty's just .217. This is his second appearance of the year and of his career against Pittsburgh.
I think one thing that would definitely benefit this Pirate offense to have Polanco have that breakout second half like we saw Marte have last season.
That would help the loss of Harrison, and who knows how long Marte will be out.
That would be huge to have Polanco become that offensive force that he should be with his skill set.
And a fly ball to center. Will Venable. The first out. Polanco is retired on the fly out to center field. James Shields in the outing against the Pirates the end of May in San Diego went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs on 6 hits. Padres won that game 6-2. He defeated Rob Scahill. I'm sorry, Scahill was the losing pitcher. Shields a no decision. Craig Kimbrell got the win on a Derek Norris grand slam. It was a walk-off. Shields did go 6, gave up 6 hits on 2 runs, a couple of walks and 5 strikeouts. Neil Walker was 1 for 3 against him. He has a 9-game hitting streak. Pirates erupted for 5 fifth-inning runs yesterday. He raised a 3-0 deficit. Walker had RBI single in that inning.
Batting average of Walker's really come up a long ways last week. Hey, Greg, you just don't know what kind of numbers, what kind of half some of these guys are going to put together. Could be Walker that really gets on a tear.
Last 4 months. He loves July.
You see those home run numbers, the 1-2, 1-2. Those are numbers that you'd love to see him increase, kind of like he did last year. Like it froze up on a fastball inside corner.
It's 124 strikeouts this season for Shields. He's 3rd in the league in total strikeouts, but he's 2nd in the National League, averaging 10.6 punch-outs per 9 innings.
Walker knew it. He really took a step back before the call was even made.
Shields has given up 17 home runs. That's tied for 5th most in the league. Andrew McCutchen, a 12-game hitting streak, is going to his 5th straight All-Star game.
As a starter, right?
He's a starter, yeah.
Going to be in the starting lineup.
Yep. Congratulations to Andrew McCutchen, A.J. Burnett, Garrett Cole, and Mark Melancon. 5 consecutive All-Star appearances, by the way. First Pirate position player to be named to 5 straight since Roberto Clemente, who went to 8 straight, 1960 to 1967. And the only other players in Pirates history to be named to at least 5 All-Star teams were Clemente, Archie Vaughn, who went 8 times, Willie Stargell and Bill Mazeroski went 7 times each, and Ralph Kiner went 5 times. The starting lineup has Buster Posey catching, Paul Goldschmidt, D. Gordon on the right side of the infield. Johnny Peralta will be the starting shortstop. Todd Frazier. That'll be big for Reds fans as the game is played at Cincinnati a week from tomorrow. Then you see the outfield, which includes Andrew McCutchen. Lines this foul. 3-2.
Nice play. He looked a little small to make that catch.
Yeah, but I tell you, he's learned quickly.
Yeah, even with those little fingers, he snatched that ball right out of the air. Showed it to his mom right away.
Ball hit well the other way. Kemp going back. Makes a fine grab as he backpedals to the wall. 1, 2, 3. Go the Bucks.
A couple moments ago, Pedro Alvarez is the son-in-law of the new skipper of the San Diego Padres, Pat Murphy. Now, Murphy was named the interim skipper back on June 16th. He spent 3 seasons coaching in El Paso before replacing Bud Black. Now, Pedro told me, family aside, no one is more deserving than he is. Players have gelled with him quite well, and given his experience in college and the minors, he's got the teaching element down quite well. Now, Pat Murphy has 1,000 career wins as a college coach at Notre Dame and Arizona State to his resume. Now, how about this? Murphy was asked about throwing against Pedro Alvarez should the need arise. He said, hey, first pitch might go behind him. And Pedro allegedly replied to Pat saying, that's okay, 1-0. I'll be looking dead red for a fastball, and I have no problem putting that one over the fence, Greg.
All right, Robbie, his first pitch to Justin Upton is line to Andrew McCutchen.
Well, that's kind of how you work around guys. You want them to come up with nobody on early in the game. You can kind of go right after him. That pitch was pretty much right down the middle. Challenged him.
Point Park University tweets, by the way, congratulating the Pirates All-Stars.
And got a really nice quick out on it. That will happen sometimes. Every time you throw a ball in the middle of the plate doesn't mean you're going to give up a double or a home run. Get outs on those. But, you know, later in the ball game, you've got to start being a little careful. But right now, nobody on base. That's when you take your shot. Just going at him, and he did. And hit it pretty well, but doesn't matter. It's not.
It'll be fun. We'll be talking, by the way, to Garrett Cole in the top of the 4th inning. He must be on cloud 9 right now.
I can't.
Coming off that win yesterday, the major league leader in wins, and going to the All-Star game next week.
I can't wait to talk to him. It's going to be a lot of fun. You know, it's an exhibition game and all that, but with his competitive juices, he will be flying high if he gets out on that mound.
I wonder too, Bob, with his next start scheduled for Friday, whether he might end up starting the All-Star.
He could.
Possible.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there would be no reason not to. He'll be fresh enough to go out and throw an inning, 2 innings, whatever they would want.
Burnett walks Yonder Alonso. Paul Emmel behind the plate. Jerry Meals, the first base umpire and crew chief. Jim Wolf at second. Adrian Johnson at third, the umpire and crew. Jerry Meals, he is announced every time here at PNC Park. The fans greet him lustily, not in a positive way. They don't forget.
Like a bunch of elephants around here. We have 2 umpires tonight with glasses on.
It's been 3 years, hasn't it, by the way? What was
longer
that?
than that, hasn't it? Has it been just 3? 4 years.
It
was
4?
The year where we were playing pretty decent and then bad second. I think it's at least 4. 2, 3, 4 years ago. Yeah.
In Atlanta, the infamous call at home plate.
Because we made the playoffs the last 2 years. The year before that, we had a bad September collapse.
Right.
Or maybe last 6 weeks. It was the year that had the bad second half, which was fairly close to that Atlanta play. Which had nothing to do with having a bad second half, by the way, but it was close enough that a lot of people tried to tie those things together.
One ball, 1 strike. This is game number 82. So the unofficial start of the second half of the season, and a line drive base hit for Jed Jerko. Through 81 games. This year, the Pirates at 47-34. Last year, just a game over 500.
Wow, look at that 2013.
Yeah.
Man.
51 wins. You see runs per game about the same. Actually, Pirates hitting better than they did in 2013.
That's a little surprising.
But the offense is as good.
The offense is, I thought it would be a little worse this year, but it's right there, according to the metrics.
Francisco Cervelli leading the way most nights behind the plate, and a disappointment really that he wasn't named to his first All-Star team.
Could have easily been there.
Yeah, certainly can make an argument for that. Instead, it'll be Buster Posey.
But I mean, there's a whole bunch of guys that are going to not go, and people will say, how could he not go?
Posey will start. Yadier Molina returns for the 7th time, and Yasmani Grandal, the former Padre, will go now as a Dodger. You and I, we were watching the selection show, and they asked Bruce Bochy why he selected A.J. Burnett, and Bochy said, how can you not? He's deserving, but secondly, I mean, what a story.
Yeah,
So I can't wait to see him walking around in Cincinnati for the first time as an All-Star.
Yeah, I think Bochy, he's one of those managers that really takes that kind of stuff into consideration. I mean, you brought this up to me, what was it, about 4 or 5 days ago in the radio. Maybe it was in Detroit, I think, about, do you think that would go into the selection? And obviously it did.
It'll be a great story.
Just the fact that he had never been. He's having a great year in his last year. And Bochy thought about it, added that to the numbers that he's looking at, the great ERA.
3rd in the league in earned run average at 205, 4th in the major leagues. Parts of 17 seasons in the major leagues, and he goes to his first All-Star game. Still one more to be selected. The final vote candidates: Johnny Cueto, the numbers this season; Jeurys Familia, the closer for the Mets; Clayton Kershaw will have to be voted in the fan vote; Carlos Martinez for the Cardinals, having a great year; and Tulo, another outstanding season. He'll be involved in the final vote. Check swing. No, says Adrian Johnson.
Who are you going to vote for there in the final?
That's going to be tough, right? There's another stop by Cervelli. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Will Venable. That .409 batting average against A.J. Burnett that I mentioned earlier. 9 hits and 22 career at bats with 2 homers. Ball 3.
Tulowitzki's probably not go for.
Would you?
Yeah. Probably who that guy'd vote for too.
Yeah, I would think so. Big pitch here. 3-2, 2 on, 1 out. Numbers again for Venable. His lifetime numbers versus A.J. Burnett.
Hey.
3-2 pitch. Oh boy, bases are loaded.
Yeah, Venable is one of those spots that you wanted to try to avoid, but or work around. But that, how are you going to work around him? You work around him, you risk loading the bases, and that's what has happened. So here's one of the really the good things, though, that AJ has going for him in these situations now. With that two-seam fastball, he gets a lot of ground balls. So I could easily see him getting out of this with a double play. And in the old days, it'd have to be a strikeout, but I think he could get out of this with a double play.
You think, well, Amarista, it'll be tough. He is, but 5 double plays he's hit into. And there's a fly ball, plenty deep, to give the Padres a 1-0 lead. 2 outs. Alonso scores. Jerko to third. Amarista's 19th RBI of the year. Two walks in the inning. A.J. Burnett has been so good with the control numbers this year. Alonso, who walked after 1 out, scores, and Jerko, who singled, moves to third.
Got that ball down and in. That's where A.J. loves to throw the fastball, to that side of the plate. Could have easily been a ground ball in that spot. Somehow Amarista got it out to the outfield. Shield's a pretty good hitter. Of course, nobody knew that for years.
Now he's in the real league, National League.
And he can hit a little bit.
Bounces this to Mercer, who decides to throw to first for the final out. So the Padres score first in the second inning. It's 1-0 Friars.
To you by the Chevy Colorado and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day. Let's go Bucks!
1-0 Padres. As we go to the bottom of the second. He's an all-star. And he's watching some Pirate all-stars, including Andrew McCutchen. Jung Ho Kang will lead things off.
Got to run to get back. Got to be seeing a lot of Jung Ho at third for a while now.
Another guy, we're talking about Polanco with Harrison being out, and who knows how long Marte is out. Maybe needs to step up, and this was a guy too. Jung Ho Kang will need to do the same.
You know, Greg, I've always had a problem with that kind of, I don't know, maybe it's the word, like step up, you know, and, you know, pick up the slack, and, you know, all these different things, because in my mind, if a player can just start playing better because he wants to, well, what was he doing before? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So so I've always like, oh, now
it shouldn't be that way.
Okay, now so and so's hurt, so now I'm going to be.
Yeah,
I'm going to
play better than I could have.
Now I'm going to be really good.
Just on his hands.
Just do what you can always do.
Shields, well done to stay with it. Missed it, kind of kicked it, recovered, and still gets gone.
Yeah, right there, they didn't panic. Took a quick look to kind of check and see what was going on after he booted it. He saw he had some time.
Is this a trait that all Hart High School products have?
Good athletes?
No, I don't mean good athletes. I'm saying not panicking.
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, you guys, you never panic. You never have.
No, I'm not a panicker.
And Shields doesn't panic. That Trevor Bauer don't panic.
I don't think Trevor will ever panic about much. After just seeing him for a short time.
Toward right center field. And the catch made by Kemp. Cervelli is out number 2.
Yeah, I don't see Bauer panicking ever that much. This is the little helicopter he flies. Is it going the right direction or something? But, you know, back with that subject we were talking about with guys that try and do more. It really is. There's only 2 things that can happen. Either you do better, and then everybody's wondering, well, why didn't you do that before? Or you don't do as good as you were because now you're trying to do more than you're capable of. Yeah. So it is just forget about that. Don't try and step up. Don't try to do any of that. Just be yourself. And the only thing that's going to be different is maybe you'll have more opportunity. And if you're good enough, if you're a good enough player, you're talented enough, you work hard enough, all that comes together, it'll be there. You don't have to put any extra effort into it to be that extra better player.
Maybe that's what it is more than anything else. You get more of an opportunity. Somebody's injured, so somebody now you get more at bats.
Yeah, now you're going to see a lot more at bats. And what are you going to do with them? Like Jay last year, he didn't really. He didn't. I don't think that he stepped it up or anything. I think he was always that player. He just never got that kind of a playing time before. And then after he had played for 6 straight weeks, everybody's like, "Wow, this guy can play."
Boy.
Bounce to first, and a 1-2-3 inning for James Shields. Through 2, it's 1-0 San Diego. This Sunday night at 8:05. All kids 14 and under will get an Andrew McCutchen and A.J. Burnett Cup, compliments of sheets and Coca-Cola. All-Star Cups. Get your tickets now at Pirates.com. Sunday night baseball, nationally televised. Be here. The Pirates and the St. Louis Cardinals. Pirates.com for tickets, and the youngsters get the cups. Go to the third inning.
No,
that's very good.
I've never seen them in the same room. That's
good point.
Huh.
Back to the top of the order. Here's Derek Norris.
You know, with these clouds we have tonight, they're low.
Oh, yeah, I know.
They'd be great for putting a bat spotlight on, wouldn't they?
They're working on it.
Low, hanging over the city.
They're working on it. My man Bubba.
They're the perfect height right now. Could you just see one up there right now?
It'll happen. Would be perfect tonight. It's a major project. It's the Bucco fans working on it.
Throw something on the head of a flashlight.
Exactly.
I understand that.
Wow, that was a bad pitch there. You get a call. You're just out of the zone. 2-1. Falls behind Derek Norris. And A.J. Burnett pitches. See a lot of the Batman t-shirts. His second outing of the year against the Padres. Foul ball. His first one, May 28th. He went 5 2/3 innings, gave up 5 runs, 4 earned on 8 hits, but the Pirates won 11-5 that night.
You know, Greg, when A.J. leaves the ballpark at night, drives out that tunnel.
I know.
Do you think it's like the kids that think that there goes the Batmobile?
Of course they do.
Of course
they do.
How great would it be to have some like buckets of water with dry ice down there? So when the door goes up, like the fog comes out, and AJ's car comes out through the fog.
Still 3-2.
I'm gonna have to. That would be another cool thing.
Yeah, it would.
Have to videotape that.
Yep.
Having that, and believe me, if you saw him, you would know it was him.
Yeah. He does drive the Batmobile. Tied Jim Cott for 35th on the all-time strikeout list by getting Matt Kemp in the first. He bounces one to Gong, and the throw gets the speedy Derek Norris for a catcher. He runs about as well as any backstop. And one down. This day in Pirates history brought to you by Day Automotive. 1997, Pirates beat the Cardinals 6-3, complete a 4-game sweep of the Redbirds. Gave the Bucks a 1-game lead in the division at the All-Star break. Rookie right fielder Jose Guillen went 2 for 4 with a homer and 4 ribbies. Steve Cook, the left-hander, gave up a couple of runs in 7 innings of work. His 7th win of the year. 1997, this date. And Gervy Solarte bounced out in the first inning.
You ever start feeling old, Craig, when they have these
every day, Bob?
Well,
fly ball to Polanco.
When they go to like this date, Pirate history, and it's about a game you announced, does that make you feel like, wow?
The other day they did one from like last year. So
well, that doesn't count, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do know because you were right there with me. 1997. Pirate history. A freak show year. The
exciting year.
Yep. Everything just fell into place that year.
Starting rotation stayed healthy. That was so big. You know, even for a team that is kind of challenged roster-wise, maybe not the most talented team. If you can keep your starting rotation healthy and intact for an entire year, you got a shot.
Yeah.
That is such a key thing, and hardly anybody ever does that. And that's really the advantage that the good teams have is that they have depth at that position. They have a number 6, number 7, number 8 even starting pitcher ready to come up either from the minor leagues or maybe stashed away in the bullpen now the Pirates have right now, ready to take somebody's spot if need be.
0-2 pitch is grounded to short, little high, but Alvarez goes up and gets it. 1-2-3, 1-0 San Diego. Goes Cervelli pours his passion into baseball and is hitting better than ever. Josh Harrison dives into a little coaching during his kids camp and much more inside Pirates baseball presented by Allegheny Health Network tonight after postgame on Root Sports.
Root for your All-Stars.
1-0 Padres. Yeah, All-Stars including Mark Melancon, who wrapped up his league-leading 27th save yesterday. Jordy Mercer takes a strike. Andrew McCutchen, 5th All-Star. First-timer. Garrett Cole will talk to him next half inning. Roller deep short. Long throw and a base hit for Jordy Mercer. Amarista goes into the hole and the Pirates have their first base runner. And now Sean Rodriguez figures to get more playing time now. Starting in left field is Sterling Marte. Not sure about what's going to happen with Marte. We talked to him before the game in the clubhouse. He said it happened to him in the White Sox series. Started feeling it on Friday during batting practice. Played through it. Then yesterday aggravated it. Asked him if a DL was possible. He said, oh, no disabled list. Well, we'll see. Those obliques can be really touchy.
Where is the oblique, Greg? Is
somewhere
that like in your rib cage?
Somewhere in the side muscle, I guess.
Side. No, it's a serious question. I don't know.
No.
It's in your. It's right here.
Right. Right.
All right. I wasn't sure.
Now you've had injuries in the past. Not
well,
to be smart about
I guess
it,
it was my oblique when I was with the Braves. I went in the deal in the strike here. I don't know. I called it a ribcage muscle back then. That's what they called it. I don't know. That's why I was wondering if it was the same thing. Because that is a very painful thing. And it's tough to do anything. You don't want to sneeze even.
Starling Marte, thumbs up. That's good to see.
We like to see that.
Marte, actually, second pitch. This is a later in the at bat. He starts to kind of grab at it. He got back in the box, swung.
Now right here, he walks and then he kind of turned around, and basically from that point on, when he turns around, he just keeps walking straight to the dugout. He knew he was done. But they had already been out and talked to him for a while, and I think tried to convince him to come back, but he wanted to stay in the game badly. And then after that pitch that was showed, he I think knew that that wasn't going to be possible.
He said as early as Friday he talked them into staying in the lineup. Now A.J. Burnett, 5 sacrifice bunts to lead the staff. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I'm looking at a picture here, Greg. The obliques, they kind of attach your 6-pack to your back.
To your 6-pack?
Yeah, to the back. Yeah. I got a case. I don't have
Oh, look at this swinging away, but it's going to turn into 1 and 2. A double play. Slick play by Amarista. They took the bunt off and turned it into a double play. We'll talk to Garrett Cole when we come back. First of the 3-game series with the Padres. Justin Upton will be leading things off for San Diego. Upton lined out to center field, leading off the second against Pirates all-star A.J. Burnett. And he will be joined in Cincinnati next week by a first-time all-star as well, in Garrett Cole, who joins us now on the headsets. Congratulations, Garrett. What was it like when they told you before the game?
It was pretty exciting. There had been a little anticipation building up to it, and it was finally nice to hear the news, and couldn't be happier for AJ, couldn't be happier for Kutch and Mark as well.
Yeah, Garrett, I want to add my congratulations. It's got to be just a tremendous thrill for you, although there probably has not been a league in your life you haven't been on the All-Star team, but and now you can add the National League to that list. I know that you're going to pitch with plenty of time before the All-Star game. Is there any talk about when in that game you might pitch? Is there a possibility you could get the nod?
I'm not sure. The only thing we've talked about was who made it, and that's as far as we've gotten. So unfortunately, I don't have an answer for you.
You would love to do that, though, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, being able to pitch in the game would be awesome. I mean, it's your first time going. I mean, there's going to be a lot of excitement, and being able to pitch would be tremendously exciting.
A lot of guys, they go there and it's a nice big party. It's an exhibition game, although there is a little something on the line. Knowing how competitive you are, when you do get out there, you're going to probably be, trying as hard as you ever have in your life, aren't you?
I hope I can just, keep doing what I've been doing and not try to make too big of a deal out of it, and just get some work in and move on. But I mean, obviously, yeah, there's the World Series home field advantage on the line, so the goal is obviously not to go give it up.
Garrett, are you going to seek out any advice as to your approach when you get there, or just kind of take it all in?
Probably just try to take as much of it in as I can. I heard it's a whirlwind, no matter how many times you've gone. So I'm just going to try to make sure I show up on time and make the bus.
You said that you had an inkling, so I guess you're saying that even before the announcement, you pretty much knew. But to hear it, was it Clint Hurdle who actually told everybody? And can you kind of set the scene for us what it was like?
Yeah, I mean we have our meetings before every series. We get the team together and check a couple things off the checklist that we need to talk about, and that happened to be one of them today, and so he just kind of rolled right into it. It really wasn't anything special. I remember the last couple times it happened. We did it in Chicago, and I can't remember my first year where he did it, but I mean I'd heard the speech before, and it's obviously it's really exciting, and everybody gives you high fives and whatnot, and it's a really great feeling.
Garrett, for you, it's the first of what will be many all-star games, but for A.J. Burnett, what was it like to hear that, and the rest of your teammates to know that he's going for the first time after some 17 seasons?
I mean, I think everybody, I think I can speak for everybody in saying that that's probably the selection we're most excited about.
And that is an awfully special deal. We've been up here talking about how neat that is, and how the feeling that AJ must have at this point, and to see a teammate like him, I know that the whole room had to just explode and be very happy. But I want to ask you another question about, have you had a chance to talk to your family about this? They have to be thrilled also. Was there any time to call anybody?
Yeah, I sent out a text. They're here at the game tonight.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, my dad stuck around after the Father's trip, and my mom came in for the weekend, and my sister was here actually too. She had to go back for work, and Amy's still here. So I'll have time to talk to him and see him after the game tonight, and I sent him a text out earlier, and I told him we'd get together later.
Well, that's going to be a lot of fun later on, and they don't have to go far.
No,
they just go down to Ohio.
Yeah.
What's weird about it too, Garrett, is you guys, you and your teammates, it's nice to know, but you're the kind of guy, I imagine, that's going to put this behind you because of what's in store for this team over this next week, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm to be honest, I'm really not quite sure what to think about it. Like I said, it's extremely exciting. It's a huge honor, but I mean, I've been so focused so far this year, and we all have, to that point, and I don't anticipate anybody changing their game plan or changing the way they go about their business. It's kind of something that I think you take in stride, but like I said, we got bigger goals on the horizon as a team, and we got to take those day by day.
Well, all professional athletes have a great deal of pride, and I'm sure you do too. You can really have that little bit of an extra special feeling of walking into that all-star clubhouse knowing you lead the league in wins. That also has to be a little sugar on top of this whole thing.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's something I haven't anticipated. Going into this season, my goal was just to try to take it one start at a time, and all of a sudden you look up and we're in the middle of July, and the numbers are what they are, and it's been a tremendous ride so far. Everybody on this team has played well and contributed to the wins that I've gotten and to the wins that the rest of the staff has gotten.
You know, it's a stat that I guess they don't, you know, the advanced metrics guys say that it's not really worth anything, but you know, it's something that every starting pitcher will tell you that they probably take the most pride in, and that's going out there and giving your team your best, and you know, trying to facilitate the best team game that you can play out there to win the game.
And as this ball is hit to Gong for the final out, we can't thank you enough, Garrett, and again, congratulations.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Garrett
Cole, Pirate All-Star. A.J. Burnett, Bucco All-Star. And Andrew McCutchen and the rest. Bucks trail 1-0. First 20,000 fans will get a Starling Marte t-shirt, compliments of Peoples Natural Gas. The festivities will begin on Federal Street with the Barrel Automotive Block Party featuring live entertainment, food, and make sure you stop by the Leinenkugel Bar. For tickets, go to pirates.com/free shirt Friday. Two more with the Padres, and don't forget the special discounted tickets that are available. Ticket/weekday tomorrow night and Wednesday, and then those games against the Cardinals. And Garrett Cole, we thank him for being our guest. He will be pitching Friday night, game 2 of that 4-game series. Cardinals have yet to announce what will start for them. Polanco flied out in the first. He is 0 for his last 13. And a lot of questions about Polanco and what are the Pirates going to do with him. And apparently Neil Huntington was asked about any possibility of perhaps being sent back down. Absolutely not. It's not under consideration. And you look at the numbers, they're not great, but among National League right fielders, he's 7th in runs scored. He's 9th in on-base percentage. And he's one of the best right fielders defensively in the game. So just looking at the numbers, the batting average, 230. Homers just 3. RBIs 19. There's more to it.
Well, the thing also, Greg, is that, you know, I believe he's going to get better.
Sure.
I mean, what's he going to do at AAA?
Right. I want him playing every day.
Go down there and hit
better.
350.
Right.
Well, who cares?
He already did that.
Yeah, let him
learn the league.
Now, if there's somebody else that is in AAA now that's hitting a lot of home runs, great, you know, if you're pushed, that's something else. But if it, you know, there's nobody that's head and shoulders above you, pushing you for your job, especially if you're a guy like Polanco that has all this physical ability. Just let it play out. How old is he? 22? 23?
23, I believe.
A lot of star players aren't even here yet at 23.
Won't turn 24 until the middle of September. Neil Walker struck out looking in the first. Couple of strikes on him.
Backdoored that little breaking ball that didn't quite make it to the kitchen. Stayed out the outside on the back porch, but got called a strike. And did it again. Backdoor breaking ball.
He's gotten Walker twice, once looking, once swinging. And we want to see your strongest fan photo. Use the hashtag PittDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Hashtag PittDataStrongFan. Your strongest fan photo brought to you by T-Mobile. Good eating. Andrew McCutchen hit a line drive toward the wall in right field that Matt Kemp tracked down. 12-game hitting streak for him.
Ballpark food really is evolved, hasn't it?
Oh,
Thinking about this ice cream that kids are having.
the time all you could get was just the popcorn and peanuts and maybe hot dog popcorn.
Well, if you didn't get to have some kind of ice cream, it was like in one of those like little paper cups,
Yeah.
and you had like a little wooden stick.
That's right.
And the ice cream was as hard as a rock.
That's right.
The stick would just break. And now we've got all kinds of choices, especially here at PNC Park. It is amazing the variety of food they have here. It really is a show place of baseball.
Of course, Permanis. Two and two. James Shields. Good years with Tampa Bay. And on to Kansas City. Signed a full-year deal over the winter. $72 million with the Padres. 33 years old. A real consistent starter over the years. 8 straight 200-plus inning seasons. Has topped 225 innings each of his last 4 years. And he walks McCutchen his first free pass. Don't expect McCutchen to be taking off. Barrel Automotive League leaders Derek Norris has caught 28. Francisco Cervelli is second.
Hey, you think about what Cervelli has done this year, his batting average, and it really is surprising that he didn't go.
Finished third in fan voting as well. Again, Shields has allowed 17 home runs. Kyle Kendrick of the Rockies has given up the most, 23. Kyle Loesch of the Brewers has given up 19.
17 is a pretty big number for playing your home games in San Diego. Pretty good pitcher's ballpark. Rather involved stretch position, isn't it?
Did you do that at Hart High School?
No.
Oh. Rainbow.
Yeah, sweet. Very pretty.
great Tony Gwynn. Yeah, that is
most
involved.
guys' windups aren't that involved.
Yeah. It's Mike Mussina-like. Need to do that big dip. Remember him?
Yeah,
Mussina? Yeah.
American League, I didn't watch it much.
Yeah, I know. That's why I asked.
They call him Moose, right?
Yes.
Kind of like AJ. He had a great last year.
Two and one. Young bounced back to Shields in the second inning. Two and two.
Yeah, Greg, I think the challenge for Jung Ho is going to be a little bit greater now because of Clint won't be able to pick the matchups where he thinks that Jung Ho can excel at. Now he's going to have to be playing against all the pitchers, or at least most of them. I'm sure that he won't play every game at third base, but you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
When he has been playing up to this point, a lot of the situations where when Clint would think, well, you know, this is a good matchup tonight to get Jung Ho in the game. Whatever it is that they look for, I'm sure that goes into a lot of who's going to play that night, you know, obviously. But now, with Jay on the shelf, Jung Ho will be getting a lot more playing time, and he's going to see some of the really good right-handed pitching that maybe he was missing before.
He is caught looking, and he is just 3 for his last 25 at bats. 1-0 San Diego.
Well, in light of some recent news, the moment becomes even more special. The two young fans, 12 and 8 years old, Christopher and Elijah, with their father, Roger McCreary, and his wife, Stephanie. Now, Roger's been battling some health issues, isn't sure of the future, so he kept everything private, but we know a little bit about Roger McCreary. Born and raised in L.A., became a Pirates fan when he went to Dodger Stadium as a kid, and he saw Roberto Clemente taking batting practice. And a friend said to their dad, that's the best player in baseball. From that moment, he was sold as a Bucks fan forever. And how about this, Greg and Bob? The jerseys those kids are wearing, they were their dad's jerseys from when he was a kid. And he wants his kids to keep them and pass them along to their kids, and on and on and on. So there's going to be a few generations of Pirate fans out there out west. What a cool moment for those cool kids, and a great deed by Kutch.
One of the great moments of the year, without question. Robbie, this ball is popped up, and Jung Ho Gong makes the play. Will Venable.
Yeah, I agree. That was really a special thing, and I'm glad it kind of, I don't know if this is the correct term or not, viral. It went everywhere. I mean, it was on all the highlight shows and everything, and it really showed that, for anybody that didn't know, I mean, what a special person that Kutch is.
Yeah, it did go viral. Bob was right. That's,
oh,
that's what you call it.
No, I think isn't that that's an internet term?
It is.
Yeah.
You're right on there. And I know you normally don't know that, but yeah, viral. Good call.
Well, that's not what you say when it goes out on all the highlight shows. That's not the correct word. There must be something else for
I don't
that.
think so.
No?
I think
They can call that viral
it went
also?
from viral around the internet to national news coverage.
Oh. Hey, you want to see how to show a curveball?
What?
Let me show you how to throw a curveball.
What in the world does that have to do with anything?
Try to change the subject.
Hey, there's Dennis Galloway, isn't it?
I think that is Dennis.
A longtime producer, director, I believe. See Dennis, good man.
Recognize that mustache?
Yeah. Right there in the green golf shirt. Dennis Galloway. Three and two. Full count. And a race to a fly ball to center field. McCutchen back. Approaching the wall. Wow. Marista.
A little bit of a ride. Yeah, that's a little further than you expect him to poke that ball. But Kutch able to get back there in plenty of time. Get up against the fence. Make an easy play of it. We'll watch it again. At first, he kind of turns and goes sideways, and then when he knows he's got it, he puts his back toward the wall and just eases into it.
Strike on James Shields. He bounced out in the second. And toward left field, Sean Rodriguez. Oh man, is he okay? He made maybe the catch of the year earlier this season and makes a spectacular catch. Serpico robbing Shields of a hit. In the top of the fifth inning, James Shields figures he's got a hit here. This is not Starling Marte, but was Marte like.
You know, I really believe that Sean is one of those players you can put anywhere on the field.
Yep.
And he is going to excel defensively.
Yep. Going back to that Josh Harrison comparison.
Yeah, you can put him in second, third, anywhere to get field. Shortstop. You know, maybe he's not going to have normal shortstop range, but he certainly is going to make all the plays. And we've seen this year numerous times how good he can be in the outfield and at first base.
And knock on wood, he is okay. You saw he was grimacing. He was in some pain. Went down the dugout steps immediately. He is due to hit cleanup here in the 5th. Sean Rodriguez. Paul Emmel called that one pitch a strike. Scully wasn't happy. He is retired 5-3. A.J. Burnett has given up the 1 run on 1 hit. He walked a couple that hurt him in the 2nd. He's had to be good once again because James Shields is pitching a 1-hit shutout.
Well, it's kind of like yesterday's game, man. But it all came crashing down really quick in 1 inning. Hope the same scenario happens tonight.
Shields has lost 3 consecutive starts. His last time out 5 days ago went 6 2/3 against the Seattle Mariners, and they won 7-3. Gave up 2 runs on 4 hits. Start before that in San Francisco lasted just 4 innings, gave up 7 runs to the Giants. 2-0 count now on Alvarez. See what he does from the 3rd inning on. On his average 286, ERA of 4.99.
Well, a lot of that is that home run number, Greg. You look at those runs. That's instant offense. You start doubling your home run numbers after 3 innings.
Backhanded by Alonso. Two outs. Once again, we want to make sure you show us your strongest fan photo. Use the hashtag #PitDataStrongFan. You just might see yourself in an upcoming telecast. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Hashtag #PitDataStrongFan. T-Mobile. Get those photos in. Always a good idea to bring those binoculars. Strike on Jordy Mercer. Infield hit in the 3rd. The only hit for the Pirates. Bounced weakly to 2nd. James Shields through 5, blanking the Bucks.
on Root Sports is brought to you by Allegheny Health Network. Health for all. By Kenny Ross, Ask a Neighbor. And by Levin Mattress, located in all Levin Furniture showrooms and freestanding stores. Let's go Bucks!
1-0, and it has started to rain once again here.
Yeah, it's coming down decent right now. Not real hard rain that's threatening the game, but enough to send some of the folks scurrying a little.
And again, you know, it's nice to sleep.
Yes, it is.
It's raining outside. As you can see, just a light mist at the moment. A.J. Burnett back to work against the top of the batting order, Derek Norris. No problem. Troy's always got the umbrella.
Wouldn't you?
Why not?
Yeah. Good in the sun.
Loves in all conditions.
Good in the rain.
Yeah.
Multitasker.
Couple of strikeouts for A.J. Burnett tonight. That bounced to Gong. One away. Look at the role that A.J. Burnett is on. Now the Cardinals return to PNC Park, the Central Division Showdown. Thursday night, 7:05 start. After the game, a special weeknights and Valley Fireworks show presented by 84 Lumber. For tickets, go to Pirates.com. Pirates and the Cardinals and that showdown in the Central. Right now, the Pirates 6 back of the Cardinals. They are playing the Cubs in Chicago tonight. 0-0 after 2. Solarte has bounced to second and fly to right. One of the former Yankee. He will turn 28 years old tomorrow. Came over last summer in a deal involving Chase Headley. He went to New York. One and two. Pop up. Walker out in shallow right, calls for it. His 13th straight, retired by A.J. Burnett.
You know, Greg, I asked Cole about his dad. A.J.'s dad's got to be thrilled about this too. I mean, you know, even though A.J. is much older and everything.
Gets on the backswing.
And there's another reason for A.J.'s dad to be happy besides the All-Star selection. 8 changeups tonight so far from A.J.
He has been pushing A.J. for
you
a
hear
long
that?
time.
You hear that, Dan?
That's right.
8 changeups, and it's just in the 6th inning. It's not bad. He's finally learning to throw the changeup. Was that A.J.'s first year? He was doing an interview after a game about his pitch count.
Yeah.
He said he throws a couple change-ups every game.
Just for Dad.
Keep my dad happy. There you see him.
1-2 on Kemp.
Fastball, curveball is mainly what A.J. does. It's what he goes to work with.
learned tonight before the game, with the rest of his teammates, that he would be going to his first All-Star game.
It's like getting invited to the Justice League.
In case you missed it earlier, here are the Pirates All-Stars. 5th time that Andrew McCutchen goes. Garrett Cole for the first time. A.J. Burnett, first time All-Star, and Mark Melancon goes for a 2nd time. But as Garrett Cole told us in the 4th inning, he and the rest of the Pirates players were most happiest when they heard about A.J. Burnett. Mark Melancon studying players he might be facing down the road.
Let's look at the American League team. Just thinking about who he might have to pitch to.
There's a binder of American League players.
Yeah, he's looking ahead. It's an advanced scouting report.
Bouncing ball. This scouting report has the second baseman behind second, Walker, and 14 straight retired by A.J. Burnett. Bucks look to get him some runs. Images from the Allegheny Health Network Supermo as the Pirates go back to work against James Shields. Sean Rodriguez facing his former teammate in Tampa Bay. Fly to center field, his first at bat against Shields. Two and one. Cisco Cervelli and A.J. Burnett working together again tonight.
Had 2 hits in this game.
And one was an infield single by Jordy Mercer.
A couple of older veteran right-handers just going at each other.
And towards center field. Venable. One down. A.J. Burnett hit into our Chick-fil-A double play. The Pirates decided to take off the bunt, let him swing away, and he hits into a 6-4-3 double play that ended the 3rd.
In a 1-0 ball game like this with nobody hitting, that's huge.
to third. Solarte to Alonso.
Greg, we need a home run.
Well, maybe the third time around will be the good luck charm.
Well, we saw those numbers about how the home runs really go up as Shields gets later in the ballgame, which actually kind of surprised me, thinking of what a workhorse he has been over the years and how he constantly goes deep into the games and throws a number of innings. To see that there's such a jump in the offensive production against him later in the game.
Known for a long time as Big Game James, or even Complete Game James. He had 11 complete games with Tampa Bay in 2011. By far the most in baseball.
You know, that's always been kind of surprising to me that, you know, I realize that the complete game is kind of disappearing, but in the American League, it shouldn't really disappear.
No pinch hitting.
Yeah, because there's no pinch hitting. Now I know that there's still the pitch count you got to deal with, but there's a lot of games where guys get taken out not because they're pitch count, but because it's a tie game or whatever, or you might even have a 1 or 2 run lead, and there's a situation where a base hit you can add on and you come out of the ball game. Of course, in the American League that doesn't happen. A lot of opportunities to stay in games. Catchers need to move back about 3 or 4 inches tonight, don't they?
Cervelli got it, and Norris gets the backswing.
What catchers look at as far as where they set up. Is it the plate? Is it where the hitter is?
Into the seats.
Now, just before the sign went up, it looked like Morris hopped forward there, didn't it?
Yeah.
Do you move up a little bit when you call a breaking ball because you think it might be in the dirt? See if he does that little hop again. Hops forward after he finishes with the signs. Yep, there it is. See, look, he moved forward about 3 inches after he gave the signs.
He called for the fastball in.
Now, that might be just something he does every single pitch, that he starts in a position where he knows he's going to go forward a little bit. Curveball. There's that hop. Well, that's got to be hard on the knees all night long. Every time you're in that squat, and now you're going to hop forward a little bit. Actually, that time he just kind of, instead of coming forward, he kind of hopped in position, hopped into a turn.
Yeah.
Which is odd. There's nobody on base. Like, look, he turned again. He's kind of opening himself up toward the direction that ball maybe is going to be breaking.
Polanco bounced out on a 3-2 pitch in the 4th. He's worked the count full again here in the 6th. After falling behind 0-2.
We used to see Martin turn like that a lot when there was a runner at first base.
Backhanded. Alonso on to Shields. And 1-2-3 go the Pirates. On to the 7th inning. 1-0 San Diego. We take a look at the Nissan road ahead for the rest of this series. Tomorrow night, Francisco Liriano starts against Tyson Ross. And then Charlie Morton opposes Andrew Kashner on Wednesday night. Get underway at 6:30. First pitch 7:05 both nights. Pirates and the Padres. Here is Francisco Liriano. And Charlie Morton. A.J. Burnett has retired 14 straight. He faces Justin Upton, who's lined out to center and struck out. Only 2 punch-outs for Burnett. But he's on quite a run now. He walked Yonder Alonso with 1 out in the 2nd inning. Alonso's on deck. And then gave up a hit to Jed Jerko. Walked another man before the sacrifice fly by Amarista. Scored the game's only run. It's 2-0.
Loves that outside corner. It's such a good weapon for him this year. Look at that. Just everything right out there. Cervelli setting up on the outside corner again. Good command of that fastball. Just to paint it like that.
Great look from the Allegheny Health Network Supermo here. Wanted to, but checked. Two All-Stars. Mark Melancon will go this time as a closer. 2 years ago, he was a setup man. And there is another strikeout. Second time he's gotten Upton.
Kind of an odd way to get him. This was kind of a mistake pitch. He was trying to go outside with a fastball again. You can see Cervelli set up out there, and he missed his spot by quite a bit. Ball ran back over the inside half of the plate, and Upton swung right through it.
Here's Yonder Alonso. Past the pitcher into center field. Alonso on base for a second time.
Just the second hit that AJ's given up tonight.
Breaks the string of 15 in a row that he had retired. We got a ground ball from Jerko in the 4th inning. He bounced to Gong. Jerko singled his first time up against Burnett. Runner goes. Sent the runner and foul ball, and now Cervelli gets it again.
Guessing that was a hit and run. This is a pretty good jump right here, isn't it? There's the look. Yeah, that gives it away, the long look. And then the swinging at a pitch was well out of the strike zone. That all adds up to hit and run. The reason I bring up the jump is because a lot of times if there's just a straight steal or somebody has a green light to run, you're going to be taking pitches, trying to let that runner get into scoring position. And with AJ, it's always a situation where he's going to get run on by guys that maybe even don't normally run because he's slow to the plate. And they get that little bit better jump because of that.
Alonso, the 1-out single. Jerko, 1 for 2. What about any extra pressure on A.J. Burnett being named today to the All-Star team? The night he pitches.
Absolutely.
Do you know that feeling?
Yeah, I ended up going through the same thing. It definitely adds something to the game, a different dimension, another distraction. I mean, you so badly want to win that game.
Line drive, right center field. McCutchen can't hold on. First and second.
Came close. It looked like that ball was in the glove for quite a while.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yep.
Here is Alonso at first.
For just a moment, I thought he might still get an out on that force out.
Now Will Venable.
Yeah, what were you talking about? You want to badly win that game because now you're an all-star and you want to prove to everybody that you're worthy. And also it's nice to get one more W on that record before you show up for that great night.
Another look at this try by Andrew McCutchen, and still almost got Alonso. Chopper. Walker runs the runner back, and now Alvarez between second and third. Lob toss over, and now they have to watch the runner at the plate, and Mercer going to run toward him, and Mercer keeps running, and now will get the out in a double play, and what a play! Seventh inning stretch. Venable to Walker, and they end up doubling up yonder Alonso.
They could not have done that better. I mean, that's a great defensive play. Everybody, Walker, Mercer, everyone, great job.
Now we'll keep it here for Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Everyone watching at home on Blue Sports, as we say, take me out to the ball game.
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
Ball to Neil Walker, who will run Jerko back toward the bag, then get the out at first, and now Alvarez takes over from there. A little lob toss over to Mercer, who watches the runner at third and then breaks for third as he saw Alonso break for the plate.
Yeah, it was a picture perfect. They did exactly what they needed to do. And really, this is what the Padres needed to do.
So everybody did what was right.
But in that scenario, it's always going to be the defensive team that comes out the winner as long as they don't mess something up. And they didn't. It was perfect.
very end of the play. Gong just did get him. And now Neil Walker, the 2, 3, 4 men in the order. Walker has struck out twice, down a run. James Shields has retired 17 of the 19 men he's faced. Has given up an infield single and a walk. And with 3 men on the right side, Walker retired. Chad Jerko on to hit Walker. Slug your way to the Home Run Derby crown and master the free award-winning game millions are playing. Download MLB.com Home Run Derby free on the App Store and Google Play. McCutchen. Line drive toward the left field corner. That'll get down and get to the wall. Andrew McCutchen with a 1-out double. McCutchen's 23rd double this season. One behind the league leaders Anthony Rizzo and Todd Frazier.
You know, Greg, I was thinking about what we were talking with AJ as this ball is down in the corner about how important it is after you learn you're going to be going to the All-Star game to go out and win. And then I thought, well, I wonder if it's the same thing for a hitter. Do they, they go out and say, hey, I'm an All-Star, and then I started thinking, nah, for Kutch, probably not. He's just being Kutch. The All-Star game is something that's just he looks at as being on the schedule, as he should.
It's on his schedule.
Yeah. I mean, there's some players that are like that. What we were showing earlier, the San Diego uniforms with Gwynn on the back. Do you think Tony ever thought that wasn't on his schedule? Some guys are they're going to be there year after year, and Kutch certainly one of them.
Matches his career high, 2009 on a 13-game hitting streak. Gong now trying to get him home. Cisco Cervelli. Okay, he's going to pick out somebody for this ball. There you go. He's on deck. Two and one on Jung Ho Gong. Trying to get Andrew McCutchen home. Gong with just 6 hits in his last 39 at-bats is due here. 23,182 on hand for the first of a 3-game series with the Padres. And ball 3. Get your tickets, discounted tickets at Pirates.com the next 2 nights. Pirates have won 5 of their last 6, 7 of their last 9. 3-2 on Gong. The offense has come to life. Last 10 games, hitting .285 with 46 runs scored. They scored 5 in 1 inning yesterday. Number 2.
That brings up Cervelli. Hey, Greg, we've been talking about what goes through the guys' their heads when they know that they made the All-Star team. Well, Cervelli had to think that he had a great shot. You mentioned he came in 3rd in the fan voting to be a starter. He's playing at a Gold Glove type level on defense, throwing out runners, and he's hitting great. He's got over a 300 batting average. So he had to be looking at this as like, wow, this might be my best shot ever. And he didn't get the nod. What's he going through tonight? How easy is it to put that aside? stay focused on the ball.
So
game.
do you come out tonight and say, "I'll show you"?
I would imagine for a number of reasons he badly wants to knock this run in.
Capturing it. Souvenir baseball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
All right, Pedro, who gets this one?
But there's a lot of work here on the on deck side.
Yeah, a lot of responsibility.
You know, you're thinking about the at bat to come, watching Shields as best you can, concentrating. Then you got to make some fans happy. Pedro has done that. 1-2 on Cervelli. Hit by the pitch. He is aboard for Alvarez. Shields hits Alvarez, putting 2 aboard. The Health Network Super Bowl.
I think that one must have stung. Cervelli's reaction.
Now the at bat of the night. Alvarez has grounded out twice to the first baseman Alonso. Toward right, that's going to head toward the seats. The out of play. Alonso got over there quickly. Yellowwood bringing the lumber last night or yesterday. Pedro Alvarez came to the plate. This was against Danny Salazar. 2-run homer, his 12th. Made it a 3-2 game. The Pirates scored 3 more to take the lead and won it 5-3.
Yeah, that home run was the beginning of the inning for Salazar. We talked earlier about how he was just cruising. And after that home run, he was done. Couldn't get out of the inning. Boy, that was a bomb too, wasn't it? The distance that he can hit the ball to the opposite field is just always amazes me.
Extremely impressive. And he'd like to impress his father-in-law here. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Touching at second, Cervelli at first. Pat Murphy, the manager now, the Padres. His daughter Kelly married Pedro Alvarez. They are expecting their first child.
A lot of little stories going on tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, that sort of thing.
Pat Murphy's excited as all get out about his first granddaughter. Strike is called. 1-2 now. There's Kelly there in the middle. They met when she was working in the athletic department at Vanderbilt. Her father was coaching Arizona State. 2-2. Bullpen for San Diego. Don't forget they have Craig Kimbrell for the 9th. You want to get this done before that 9th inning, that's for sure. Just missed 3 and 2. Talk about big pitches in a ball game. 1-0, 2 outs, 2 on, 7th inning.
Everybody wanting a long ball right here on this pitch.
The other way. Oh, what a play by Solarte! Throws to first. He throws it past Alonso. This game is tied. Unbelievable.
Made the great stop, but couldn't finish it off.
Alvarez smoked it. Solarte made the pick in the dirt. Past first, it's 1-1.
Only guy on that side of the field. He was all by himself. Did you see him move over? How about that? It was almost as that ball was going home. He slid a couple of steps to his left. If he hadn't have done that, he wouldn't even have been in position to make that play. Make the catch. He obviously didn't make the play.
Watch McCutchen. Sees the stop. Watches. It is 1-1. Error on the third baseman. Aaron Balsley, the pitching coach, will make his way out. Another look at a hard hit ball. That is unbelievable.
Seam slide over?
Yeah. Great anticipation.
Yeah, it's like he knew the ball was going to be hit right to his left. I wonder if somebody in the dugout is trying to get his attention and telling him to move over. Why would he all of a sudden jump to his left like that, almost as the pitch is going home? Solarte went over, had a little word with Shields. Actually, I think Shields called him over there. I think there's probably Shields telling him that if I do this, that means there's going to be a pickoff throw. And just kind of a little reminder, probably something they already have set up, because you can't fake over there anymore. If you actually want to try something, you have to throw the ball to third. Like if you think the guy at third base is going to run, you can't do that fake to third anymore. Now you actually have to throw the ball, complete the throw. And I think that was what he was telling Solarte, that, hey, watch me, I might throw the ball to you.
Jordy Mercer, one of the 2 Pirates hits. It was an infield single in the third. Two and oh. Saw that bullpen. Pat Murphy, the manager now of these Padres, has Brandon Maurer up along with Sean Kelly, and they are ready. Two and one. Shields had retired 18 of the first 20 men he faced in this ball game, and gave up the 1-out double to McCutchen in the 7th inning. He got Gung to fly out on a 3-2 pitch. He hit Cervelli, and Alvarez hit that one-hop shot. Solarte made the stop, but the throwing error. 2-2. It's a scoreless game after 5 innings at Wrigley Field in Chicago, the Cubs and the Cardinals. Great pitching matchup there. John Lester pitching a no-hitter so far through 5 against John Lackey. 2-2 on Mercer, hitting over 400 his last 9 games. Stays alive. Shields over the 100 pitch mark. He has thrown 24 pitches in this 7th inning. Hit hard, but at the shortstop. And Amarista will toss to Jerko for the force. The Pirates get an unearned run. Tied at 1, onto the 8th.
If you watch our games here on Root Sports, we affectionately refer to the top of the batter's eye as Mount Troy, named after our wonderful cameraman Troy Taffel, Chad Wilson out there with him. But when Troy finished dinner, went out to his position before the game, as we show you this Point Park University tweet. I tweeted out a photo. A ball ended up wedged in the rail behind him. Somebody hit that during batting practice, put it over the batter's eye and into Mount Troy. Unbelievable. I don't know if Troy still has the baseball. If you do, Troy, maybe you could hold it up and show us your souvenir. I'm not sure he really has had any out there. And Troy, if you're listening, have you ever had one hit out that way? Thumbs up, yes. Thumbs down if you haven't. Maybe we'll have to do some investigative reporting and find out the answer. But Greg and Bob, who could possibly have hit one over the batter's eye?
Have to send Robbie up there. Talk to Troy personally.
My guess is it was Pedro.
Yeah. One ball game. Amarista at the plate. 0-2. This figures to be Burnett's last inning. Due up second in the bottom half of this 8th inning.
It's like, is that Watson? I'm sure it's Watson out there throwing now.
Brett Wallace, a left-handed hitter, on deck. Strike 3 called. Number 4 for Burnett.
They saved that strikeout. Who did he just pass, Greg?
Well, I think he just matched Mark Langston now.
Because they just took that game out of, or that ball out of play.
He keeps climbing the list.
Tossed it over to the authenticator.
Strike 1 on the pinch hitter. There we have it. 34th on the all-time list with Mark Langston. 0-1 on Brett Wallace. Wallace most of this season at AAA El Paso. James Shields giving up 1 unearned run. Pedro Alvarez hit that ball. McCutchen scoring the errant throw. 3-1. Three balls, one strike. Burnett walked a pair in the second. Wallace bats for James Shields. And a one-out walk. All of those pitches were not close. 103 pitches. Derek Norris comes to the plate. Clint Hurdle.
It'll be a tough game to pull AJ out of with a tie score. Clint wants AJ to get this W as bad as AJ wants it.
Watson certainly ready. Gervais Solarte is a switch hitter on deck, and he hits better as a left-handed batter. It's only .204 against lefty pitchers, so Burnett probably has to get Norris. He's gotten 2 ground balls out of Norris tonight, both to the third baseman Gong.
They have a pinch runner.
And this is Melvin Upton Jr.
No more BJ Upton.
Now he's Melvin Upton Jr.
Uh-oh. I think Upton stopped that one. I'm not sure Pedro even got leather on it. I think that just hit Upton right in the hip. Yeah. Thank you for blocking that for us.
Toward right. Polanco during the seats and out of play. Look out, somebody really toppled over for that catch.
Oh my gosh. Heck of a catch.
Giving up the body.
Man. It's one of the best catches we've seen this year. We've seen a couple. But this is this be top 5, I think. Staying with it.
Look at that.
Backwards and then hold on to the ball. You got to hold on to it after you hit the ground. And he did. He popped up, showed everybody.
Crowd reaction.
Yeah, there it is. That's an out.
Oh, 1-1. Almost had him. He was leaning. Upton. He has 1 steal in 3 attempts. 4 steals in 6 attempts make it. 4 out of 6 stolen base numbers. His brother Justin is 16 for 16. Oh, 0-2 on Derek Norris.
Almost looks like Melvin's wearing bell bottoms as he's just taking his lead. There's that fastball outside corner again. Real good job of catching that. Cervelli getting that call.
Whoa! Got him! A.J. Burnett and Painter Alvarez pick off Upton. Now they alert Derek Norris. They don't want him back in the box yet. They're going to check the video.
I mean, this is so close. I mean, they have to take some time off the clock and look at it. I mean, that's automatic in today's game. But he is as out as you can get.
Wow. Picked off. Now Burnett will try and finish off Derek Norris.
A nice quick tag by Pedro too.
Burnett's reaction. 0-2 now on Norris. Struck him out. How do you like that, Batman?
Wait a minute, what's going on here?
They're saying he tipped it.
No. No.
Belly says no. Here comes Paul Emmel.
They called that a foul ball?
Here comes Clint Hurdle. Take a look.
Oh,
gosh,
no, he missed
close.
it by a foot.
Not even close.
Missed it by a foot. How could they call that a foul tip?
That is not even close.
Oh, my goodness.
A.J. Burnett reacts. The strikeout of Derek Norris. Whoa. I'll tell you, I'm surprised. A.J. Burnett was...
he's cool and calm.
I'll say.
Yeah.
That is un-AJ-like. Now look at how fired up Cole is. Now Burnett has to try and get Norris a second time.
I mean, that first replay we were showing, I mean, I couldn't believe how far he missed the ball by.
You cannot challenge that. And the Pirates certainly would have. 1-2. And look at this. He struck him out, and now it's a base hit. Unbelievable. Burnett had struck out Derek Norris on a pitch in the dirt. And Norris with a second life singles. And a strike.
Yeah, Greg, we'll spend 5 minutes to see if a guy's a quarter inch off the back at second
I'm
base
with you on this 100%.
on an overslide.
Exactly.
But we can't look when
It's
a guy swings and
absurd.
misses by a foot.
Unbelievable. 100% agree with you. Ripped foul. That same guy trying to make a catch. 0-2 now on Solarte. Got his hand on that one. So now Burnett again out in front. Runner goes. Swing and a base hit. And it's first and third. And that is going to be it for A.J. Burnett, it looks like. Wow. He had struck out Derek Norris. He had struck out Derek Norris. That is unbelievable. And you're right again, Bob. Spend 5 minutes on a guy who might have his foot off the bag for a millisecond, but you let that play go. And you cost Burnett a chance to get a win. And this great crowd a chance. Well, they'll give him a great hand anyway. The Pirate All-Star.
Yeah, very classy for A.J. to walk off too. Didn't even glance at home plate. He knows he was out of the inning.
with a 1-1 ball game and a chance to get a win. He had struck out Derek Norris, and it wasn't close.
No, I mean,
look at
the
this.
bat.
How could they? And how could they not ask for help? And again, to repeat, replay will spend 4 minutes on a play at second base when the guy left the bag for a millisecond, but they let that go. That's unbelievable. Now Tony Watson comes in to try and get Kemp. Strike one. Oh, and 1 on Kemp, who was 0 for 3 against Burnett. And 0 and 2.
Yeah, it's ironic. We went down this road of replays to overturn the horrible calls.
Right. I mean, you can't get much more horrible than that. Jerry Meals is the crew chief.
Isn't it amazing?
It is amazing. Amazing.
That's what this is all about in the first place.
Supposed to get the horrible calls right. And they let that go.
Well, if they have a rule, I guess they have a rule.
Yeah, they do.
If they can't look at it,
the rules you can't can't review it, but it doesn't make it right.
No, I agree.
I'm surprised they didn't ask for help, though. That's what I don't understand. Don't you see that a lot, Bob, where the umpire then goes to maybe the guy at first to hey, what did you see?
Yeah, that might be something that's changed. I mean, how often have you seen that this year or last year with replay?
I hadn't thought about it. Maybe you're right.
Now it's like, well, let's just go to the replay.
Yeah, you would think if one of the other umpires saw it, they would have gone in and said, ho, let's talk about it, especially the crew chief. One and 2 on Kemp.
Try that bullshit. Pussy ass shit.
2 and 2. In addition to Burnett not getting a strikeout and a chance to get a win, Clint Hurdle has to call on Tony Watson to try and get out of this 8th inning. And so many things now you think about, because if the game stays tied going to the 9th, he won't be able to use Watson. He could have if he wanted to. Lanson has worked back-to-back games, so we assume Clint Hurdle's going to, he can try and stay away from Melanson. Now Watson keeps throwing all these pitches. That'll impact the next couple of days. But the key is for him to get Kemp. Keep it tied. He does. It is 1-1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Great start by A.J. Burnett. A nice finish for Tony Watson. because he thought that was foul tipped or fouled off. A.J. Burnett had to give way to Tony Watson, but he strikes out Kemp.
I got him on a changeup. Nice pitch. It turned out to be quite a battle there. Had to really work. But
A.J. reacts.
I mean, he's happy there. I mean, he'd rather be in different circumstances with a chance to get this win. But he really truly is happy for his team. And you know, I think that there's like a different bond between the players in AJ this year than in years past. You know, when he first got here, it was more like he was trying to kind of crack the whip on some guy. Let's go. You know, you change the atmosphere, the attitude of the organization, the guys in the clubhouse. And now it's like he's almost like in a father type role or something, that he's just up there like an older, or maybe I don't want to call him a grandpa, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
It's just like, you know, they're out there, you know, they're looking to AJ in a different way, and they're trying to win this game for him. It's like they're so proud that he's got this all-star selection, and you could tell from that shot what it was kind of meaning to everybody. You saw Walker talking to him there.
(3-0) on Rodriguez. Green light, 3-1. Keen Benoit, the new pitcher.
Not bad numbers, especially that opponent batting average. You can really be proud of that. Does not give up many base hits.
Two. New right fielder, Will Venable. He moved from center, and Melvin Upton Jr. stays in the game to play center field. And here is Melvin Upton Jr. Make the catch. Steve Lombardozzi was on deck, but that was in case Rodriguez had reached, and instead it will be Travis Ishikawa. Returning to the Pirates. He's with the Bucks last year. He had just cleared waivers yesterday. San Francisco Giants tried to send him back down to the minors. Opening day starter at first base for the Pirates last year. Played in just 15 games. Let go, picked up again by the team that brought him to the big leagues, those Giants, and he was the hero game-winning home run that sent the Giants to the World Series again. One strike on Ishikawa. He will be used more often, you would think, as a defensive replacement for Pedro Alvarez. Sean Rodriguez will be bouncing around. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Two. Ishikawa thought about hanging it up after the Pirates let him go last year. Reluctantly accepted their AAA assignment. 3 months later, joined the Giants, and this, the unforgettable moment, game clinching home run in the 9th, October 16th, to send the Giants to the World Series.
Reckon to be a more exciting thing to do than
no, I don't think so.
The walk-off home runs in the playoffs in a last game scenario.
Strikes out against Benoit. Mark Melancon and Jared Hughes. The Pirates score. It'll be Melancon for a third straight night. Jared Hughes will pitch the night unless the Pirates can break this 1-1 tie. Fourth at bat of the evening for Gregory Polanco. For his last 15 at bats. Great to see Moises Alou here, the former Pirate, and of course many years with a few different clubs. He's now working in the front office for the Padres, and he has been a longtime general manager of the Dominican Republic team that has won some championships, and two of his players are Pirates. Gregory Polanco and Starling Marte have played for Moises Alou. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He was a big part of those early 90s teams that won the playoffs. Moises Alou. You know why?
Because was it Zane Smith?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zane Smith.
Pirates traded him to Montreal for Zane Smith. And a base hit for Polanco. Jerko, one of the smaller statured second basemen, needed a couple more inches.
Well, Polanco run now. Yeah, we talked about Norris, how good he is. This is certainly a steal situation.
There's Moises Alou. General manager's box on your left.
A short lead.
Neil Walker needs a hit to extend his streak. Strike. Walker against James Shields, struck out twice and bounced out. Shields allowed 2 hits in 7 innings and 1 unearned run. Don't try to run much against Benoit, but you would think it'd be a good time to try here and get into scoring position for Walker. Polanco has 17 steals, caught 6 times.
You're going to need 2 hits to get him in from where he's at now, because they're playing no doubles. Right. It's very tough to get an extra base hit with the outfield playing so deep right now. But I think he's going to run. Look at him.
There he goes. Take it. Throw down. Out. Caught stealing. Derek Norris throws out another runner. Go to the 9th. 1-1.
Be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Paul Emmel, the home plate umpire. Back in the 8th inning, Derek Norris had 2 strikes on him, and A.J. Burnett struck him out, and this was captured.
Yeah, that's a foul ball.
Yeah. He didn't swing and miss.
I said it was a foot. That might be more than a foot, Greg.
Captured on someone's phone.
Yeah.
And A.J. Burnett.
Yeah.
A little bit ago, about that far.
Yeah.
That far.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable. It really is. And again, go back to saying the Pirates then had to use Watson for 1 out in the 8th instead of the 9th inning here.
Even though they didn't score,
right,
it still has a effect on the ball game because what it does to the pitching. You know, when you're going late now to our bullpen.
Jarrett Hughes instead of Watson is pitching here in the 9th.
Jarrett has pitched very well in almost all of his outings, and he's been a workhorse. 41 games now.
Half of the Pirates games. Jarrett Hughes. Justin Upton trying to give his club the lead. That swing has 14 homers. He's lined out and struck out twice tonight. Base hit to start the 9th inning. Justin Upton aboard. We're talking about 16 steals and 16 attempts. He has not been caught stealing since September of last year. In fact, it was against the Pirates. September 23rd, Russell Martin threw him out.
They may give him the stop sign right now. There's nobody out. Left-hand hitter up. They might want to keep that hole on the right side of the infield.
Yonder Alonso on base twice against A.J. Burnett tonight. With his 8th hit this season against the Pirates, 8 for 19. Pirates and Padres split a series, 4-game series at Petco in late May. Padres have owned the Pirates. Swing and a miss. The runner goes, throw down. How about it? Francisco Cervelli is the first catcher to throw out Upton this season.
Not a very good jump at all. And Cervelli made the strong throw. I mean, look how he broke so late. Cervelli, the throw right there. He's out by a mile.
And a base hit to left for Alonso.
I can't believe how late he broke from first base.
The Padres have owned the Pirates since this ballpark opened in 2001. 33-13 all time. They've won all 14 series. Since 2009, they've won 16 of 20. When they score 2 or more, they're 16-0 against the Pirates in the Buccos' home yard. Jed Jerko has 2 hits tonight. Kotze is now the hitting coach, but was a big part of the Padres' success here over the years. Francisco Cervelli just threw out Justin Upton.
Yeah, there's really no explaining. You're talking 14 years. Think how many times those rosters have turned over completely different players. So really, it has no carryover even from year to year most of the time. It's just kind of a weird deal. We're talking about the situation on the bases, I'm sure.
Bouncing ball, could be 2. There's 1. There's 2.
Jared Hughes specialty, a ground ball.
Bucks look to walk it off against the Friars in the bottom of the 9th. This series against the Padres tomorrow night. Coverage starts at 6:30 with Pirates pregame, presented by WB Mason here on Root Sports. Game 2 of the series between the Pirates and the Padres. It'll be Francisco Liriano on the mound for the Bucks tomorrow night. He'll be opposed by Tyson Ross. Charlie Morton will go Wednesday night against Andrew Kashner. Seated next to All-Star Garrett Cole. New pitcher, Brandon Maurer.
One home run. Can we make that 2?
It's Walker, McCutchen, and Gong here.
That'd be the way to end it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
With this crowd, they're primed.
Walker was at the plate against Benoit in the 8th when Polanco was caught stealing.
I think that's what he was thinking about right there, that the home run ball. Nice swing at it. Not underneath it too much. Yeah, I like the fact that Polanco gave it a shot there, by the way. I mean, he got thrown out, so what? If he was safe, we were in a really nice position to win the game. But he did get thrown out, so you know, now you're starting off with your number 2 man, Walker, with McCutchen coming up behind him. That's not so bad either to start the bottom of the 9th. That's a good time to take a shot at something. The throw would have been a little high, a little left. Yeah, he would have been in there in scoring position.
And headed up the middle. Nice backhand play on the first and out at first.
Thought he might make it. Nice play.
Wrist on the other side of second base. Excellent play.
Yeah, fine defense by Amarista going and getting this ball. And a nice little pick over at first. Actually, Alonso got fairly long hop. That's what the first baseman's always looking for. Something that bounces way out in front. He'll get a good look at it. Trying to get a little direction from the dugout. And the sign was not for him. It was for Solarte. They were trying to get him to move closer to the line. Didn't like him playing off. He was another step off. And his job is to guard anything getting down the line into that corner, an extra base hit. And McCutcheon can hit the ball so hard down that way. You don't have to be off that far for that ball to sneak by you fair. Outfield out there very deep. They're playing no doubles.
Big gap in left center for McCutcheon. And he's aboard. With one out in the bottom of the ninth. Brandon Bauer has been outstanding for these Padres lately. 12 hits over his last 23 outings. Opponents hitting under 150 against him that stretch. He's a hard thrower, and Jung Ho Kang has feasted on those fastballs, especially 95 plus. See if he doesn't get one of those pitches here.
I imagine he would get at least one in that strike zone to take a nice rip at. That one at the knees, but it was middle of the plate. There it was. That was just the good fastball, but it was right there to hit on the plate. Fly high.
By the way, the Cardinals lead the Cubs 2-0. Top of the 8th inning in Chicago.
How many times do you think you've said that this year? Cardinals lead.
I've said it about probably 53, 54 times.
Yeah. It'll be a nice second half battle, and they're coming to town. We start chipping away this homestand.
Padres just finished a 4-game series in St. Louis, splitting the 4. Padres won the first 2 games of that series. Cardinals winning the last 2 ball games, including 3-1 yesterday. Lance Lynn beat Ian Kennedy. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Kang with McCutcheon at first and 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning. First and second.
Boy, Gong hit the heck out of that one. Look how fast that ball goes back through the middle. I would have liked to have seen how far that one would have traveled if he would have got under it just a little bit.
97 miles per hour coming in.
It had to be maybe even a couple mile an hour faster than that going out.
Well, he's gotten McCutchen into scoring position now for Francisco Cervelli. Bucco fans with the rally cap on. Cervelli hit by a pitch last time up. He's flied out and bounced out. One career walk-off hit for Cervelli. That was back in 2009. Check out the defense. Jackson takes, and it's 2 balls, no strikes.
Brian just told me that was 107 miles an hour going back through the middle.
How about that?
Well, that definitely would have had the mustard to get out over the fence if he could have got it up a little bit.
2 pitches that could have gone Mauer's way. Instead, Cervelli has the advantage. And a fly ball. Center fielder Upton makes the catch. 2 outs. Well, maybe this is the way the script is written.
Yeah,
Pedro Alvarez to the plate with his father-in-law in the other dugout. For 3 tonight, but with a hard shot to Solarte, and now strategy on the mound. Darren Balsley, the pitching coach. You do have Jordy Mercer on deck, so maybe be very, very careful. A right-handed hitter on deck. We've got a base available. And work essentially around Alvarez, not give him anything to hit. Bob Walk has gone over. That is the visiting TV booth. That's Mark Grant, the color analyst, who has been kind of on us about our slogan at the end of games. We're there with Dick Enberg. Mark did his best impersonation during dinner. that was classic, Bob.
That has put the jinx on it.
That was great, man. Strike 1. When did he find out that you were? How did he find out that you were behind him? I wonder. Did somebody say something to him?
He still doesn't know.
He didn't know you were behind him?
I don't think so. No.
That was great.
Well, did he turn around
just as you were leaving? I think he turned around.
Maybe he felt the wind.
Maybe. 0-1 the count on Alvarez. 1 ball, 1 strike. We get texts a lot from Mark during the season, and
he's always on you about the Jolly Roger.
Yeah. He doesn't like that.
That's always the thing. No, he doesn't like the Jolly Roger.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, just trying to get him home. Oh, 1-2.
Speed pitch. I mean, this is the scenario that we were talking about earlier with Pedro up there and wanting to get the big hit to win this one. There's Jolly Rogers.
Just missed. They give Gong second base. 2-2. Defensive indifference. Two balls, 2 strikes. 3-2, and Norris with a save there. Mauer is not uncorked a wild pitch this year. Now it is 3-2 on Alvarez. Will Alvarez see a strike here now? You see.
Well, he's only had 1 pitch in the strike zone so far. So I got to believe they're going to try to throw something off speed and get him to chase. Oh, I take that back. There's two pitches. So we can't see the first one, the one.
3-2 pitch. The Bull has won this game. So raise the Jolly Roger.
How about that? How about all the storylines tonight? What a game.
Raise it. Second career walk-off for Alvarez. He does it in front of his father-in-law.
They threw him one more strike. It wasn't really that good of a strike. It was down and away, but in the strike zone nonetheless. And he pounded it right back through the middle for the win.
It's a bull market here in Pittsburgh.
How about that clubhouse tonight?
The All-Stars that were named. A.J. Burnett goes out tonight and pitches indeed like an All-Star. They worked around a terrible call. And Pedro Alvarez on the 3-2 pitch smokes it. The Pirates have won 8 of their last 10.
Look at Pedro. All he's got to do is touch first and the game's over.
What a game. Oh, the battling Bucks are battling. Keeping the heat on the Cardinals, and Pedro Alvarez's skipper, Clint Hurdle, all smiles. Wow. What a finish.
Yeah, the Jolly Roger is up and waving tonight.
There you go, Mr. Grant. They are raising it here at the ballpark. Let's go downstairs to Robbie and Smokowski with the hero.
How about it for Pedro Alvarez? Gets the job done in walk-off fashion against his father-in-law in the San Diego Padres. Pedro, you're facing Brandon Maurer, 3-2 count. Bob Walker and Greg Brown were just saying you might not get a lot to hit. What took place in that at-bat?
Just trying to battle. You know, obviously it's a guy who's got a lot of good stuff, and just trying to compete.
What does it say about... Oh, there it goes. A pie from the All-Star. Had to know that was coming, huh, Pedro?
I saw him.
Saw him coming. What do you have to say about A.J. Burnett, the outing he gave you tonight, and the season he's had so far, and named an All-Star for the first time in 17 seasons tonight?
Well, I mean, it's the reason why we were able to win this game. You know, every time he goes out there, he gives us a chance to come back, and you know, he's a bulldog. He just fights and always gives us a chance.
Pedro, what are you looking for in the pitch, and what's your first reaction once you send it back up the middle for the winner?
Just hope that there wasn't a guy in front of the ball. You know, again, just trying to put hard contact on a pitch and see a pitch up and do what I just said right there.
What kind of fun is this right now in the North Shore? Crowd going crazy. The team's winning as many ball games as they are. And you're taking a run against the St. Louis Cardinals, who are coming to town this weekend for 4.
Well, it's a lot of fun. You know, we're a team that loves to play with each other, and you know, we try to have each other's back every night, and we continue to do that night after night.
Thank you, Pedro.
Thank you.
Pedro Alvarez and the Buccos. Robin Teak, what a night for him. Getting the job done. He's got to clean off the shaving cream pie, and I'm sure that's the happiest shaving cream he'll wear all season long, right?
Robbie, thanks very much. And you know, Teak, the crowds lately have felt like the crowds of the last few summers behind this team, pushing them onward. It wasn't a sellout, but it was a very loud crowd. This is just the second time that this team, Teak, has won a game in which they trailed after 6 innings. They've done that a lot the last couple of years. Maybe this is the beginning of some of that late magic that we've seen in the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, and the late magic is starting a little earlier than it has in years past. It was always post-All-Star break, even later than that. And, yeah, it's kind of getting to the point now where this crowd, no matter how the game goes, whether the Pirates score a bunch of runs or struggle to score runs like tonight when they're facing James Shield, they believe that somehow, some way, this club is going to find a way to win each and every ball game.
Well, Pat Murphy is Pedro Alvarez's father-in-law. Had a chance to talk to him before the game. He certainly was hoping his Padres would win tonight. Must be some mixed emotions there as he sees his son-in-law, who he said, by the way, couldn't ask for anything more out of his son-in-law, married to his daughter Kelly, the couple expecting their first child, but I'm sure he would have liked to have seen something else other than that hit. Pedro Alvarez providing the Pirates with a 2-1 victory. They've won 6 of 7, 8 of their last 10. Coming up on Pirates postgame presented by the Allegheny Health Network, we will have highlights from this game, more postgame reaction, highlights from around the league as well, Ask Teak, and much, much more. Another dramatic victory for the Pirates, 2-1 here at PNC Park.